better feeling than when you wake up in the morning with a new creative idea? I've just come out of the shower. I'm whispering because there's other people in the house. And I was going to put a different video up today. And then I realised, no. I've missed a whole chunk of stuff out. And now I've only got today to make that video. So now it's an exciting creative project. And I feel... Hi. So last time I made a video, I shared working on from a sketchbook onto larger pieces of paper. But let's face it, things weren't going well. I didn't love anything that I'd made. It felt like a real tentative step. So being me, I decided tentative isn't me. This is why this isn't working. It's not me. I'm not tentative. I had 3 big canvases stacked in a corner. I thought, let's get those out and get cracking. And then I thought, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's order 12 more from Jackson's. And if you're wondering why canvas all of a sudden, remember this? I don't want to drop any more big heavy wood panels on my toe. So as I go bigger, I've moved to canvas. But before I show you all that, winter's come. It has been freezing. And I am so glad I'm not a builder. I actually have 2 sets of builders at the moment working on 2 different outbuildings. And I feel for them. Just listen to that wind, and it was genuinely bitingly cold. So this outbuilding now has all the rafters and joists, or whatever you call them, all the things that hold the roof up, done. It has windows enlarged, and you can see inside the walls have been built up. It's just ready for the flags to go on the top now. This outbuilding is an old lean-to on the back of a barn that we've tidied up and put doors on. This is just a mess. It was some ad hoc stables that have been added on. And in here we've knocked the stable wall down. We're going to re-roof, but see that ivy plant that's taking over? That needs to be dealt with. And Morgan is clearing everything out of here so that we can build it up. And you can see here he had cleaned it all out, and now we're going to build a timber frame in here that will support the roof better, and then put a new roof on so that we can turn this into a garage, because the property doesn't actually have a garage for cars, etc. And actually you can see at the back, here's Morgan attacking that ivy plant, which is just been there forever, and it really needs to go. So I have literally just returned after being away for a week, visiting a family member who's ill. And so I've not done any painting, any sketching, anything. After getting really in the groove, I had to lose the groove. And I've come back in, and I've got 2 distinct sets of things on the go. This is the painting that started me off on feeling renewed about my art. And then this I made right before I left as based on, a development of those ideas that I developed in Italy, and the small panels and the sketchbooks that are mostly black and white. And it started with a small sketch. I'll take my coat off and I'll show you. It started from this page here in the sketchbook, where I thought I quite like this black and this grey, and these white marks near it with this beigey. And so that was my starting point. When people say, how do you take sketches into paintings? I usually don't, but here I did begin with that general compositional idea. And you can see how I started by making the black mark and the grey mark, but I made them in a different way with paint that you can see moving. I put in the white marks. I have some of the beige. I have the idea of writing in it, which I've been putting in everything. But then it took off on its own. It's orange where this is yellow ochre. The colour is in a different place, in a different way. And it just became its own thing. It's got some charcoal. So this isn't paint, this is charcoal that water's been added to. And then it becomes fairly fixed. It needs fixing with a medium, but that's charcoal with water dripping through it. This is charcoal drips. it's not paint. And then there's paint, there's pencil, there's some writing in paint and also some writing in charcoal and pencil. I decided you've got to act like what you want to be. What would someone who had an exhibition in a big high-end New York gallery do if they were planning a series of paintings? Well, they buy a series of really nice canvases or panels or whatever to work on, and that's what I've done. I placed a very expensive order for a big batch of things to work on. And then I am going to clear my studio of the things that no longer resonate with this work. And that is over here. These paintings are not feeling like they belong with that work other than possibly this one. And so what I'll probably do with these is tidy them up, paint the edges, etc., and probably put these up for sale. I also have some other ones that have never been up for sale. So I may have a sale of those paintings because these have a theme too. And I'm quite happy for them to go now because they all belong together. They all have a theme of emerge. Okay, time to get to work. One of the things I was thinking about though with that one before, I do wonder whether I'll do a few things on this one. This white one. Just to deepen the layers a little bit, I could do some layering over here and a little bit of drawing in here and then layering back over. I also wondered about having something up here and whether I might have one of these handprints up here. So I'm just going to put I've cut one of the handprints out. I'm just going to put some little bits of glue on, stick it down and see what it looks like. Right, so I'm thinking maybe up here, like this, and maybe that's just going to be way too much. Yeah, I don't like it there. Also needs a little bit down here, so, no, it's not right there. But I do like it as an idea. It's just that extra different thing that's a bit contrasty. No. That's quite good there. And then I'm gonna, while I've got the gloss medium out, I'm gonna just seal in this charcoal. Just be very gentle. I wonder how many times I have said to myself, yeah, I think I'll leave this, and then carried on anyway. Now, I'm glad I carried on this one because eventually I got to somewhere I like, but it was eventually. And I could have just put it aside as it was and worked on some more. This is a lesson I seem to have to learn over and over again. Working on this some more because depth just wasn't there for me and the composition's not working now. So I've built in depth and I've got some, I love this mark up here. But now there's this and this, like this is, something's gonna have to change here. So it's gonna change again. But what it has got in now is a lot more depth into, there's little bits more writing, there's more drawing, there's more layers of paint covering things up, and that makes me feel a bit happier. So even though it's not working probably as well as a composition than it was, because it's a bit busier now, I am still happier because it's got more. I like this mark down here as well. So I actually like that and that, which means something over here's got to go. So it'll be more playing, more experimenting. If that were to come over this way, somehow for me this never really helps. I've got to put the paint on and see. In here, just got to be like wild and free. It's got to be not overthinking. I'm just going to get a bit of that paint off so it's not as thick in places. Just for a bit, again, a bit of variety and to show that history that was there. Hi, just dropping in to say, I hope you understand, but on these diary videos, I can't also answer questions. People are asking what kind of paper was that and what kind of sketchbook do you use and where did you get that music and what. I can't answer those. I can't answer questions on these videos. I just wouldn't have any time to do anything. I have a group, Art Tribe, where you can ask me anything. And if you want to be part of that group, you can email me via my website or just louisefletcherart@gmail.com. We're not currently open, but we could make an exception for you as a YouTube viewer. But I cannot answer questions on these videos. I know I'll still get them, but just so you know why I'm skipping the questions. Okay, back to painting. So it's interesting for me watching this part back because I'm playing around the edges of something, which is the black shape that I have to the left. To me looks like, I don't know, it keeps reminding me of an octopus and it's annoying me, or a cow's udder. But I'm not dealing with it. I'm doing all these little things around the edges and that's not solving the problem. And when I start doing this kind of thing, I know it's actually time to stop and take a break. And I did realise that. As you can see, I'm fully decked out in everything I need to stay warm, except I dropped my glove on the way, so I've got one cold hand. Riley! Oh, there he goes! He knows the way. So at the end of this field is a gate that goes into the next farmer's field, but it's a public footpath, so we're allowed to walk over it. Look at the sky now. It's very cold today, but it's very beautiful in England in winter when it's very cold, because that's when we get sunshine. When we get our mild days, that's usually when it's raining and miserable. Uh-oh, Riley smelled something. Riley's got some terrier in him. So now we're on a farm track. So we came across that field. The gate's down there. My studio's there. We don't go far because Riley's arthritis doesn't allow him to go far. He can have a little burst of a run like he has had, but then he gets tired. So we do a small loop. We used to walk, 3 or 4 miles a day up and down hills, and now we're reduced to this tiny little loop that's not even a mile. But he still enjoys it, don't you? Now just down here lives my friend Karen, and Riley's just been to her house this morning for a coffee, and that was very exciting for him. So I wonder if he'll try to go down her drive, or if he'll accept that we've already done that for today. Look at the sky. Are you just accepting that we're not going up there? Yeah, we've done that, haven't we? Don't need to go up there today. We come back to here, and there's my house. So we just go through this gate to get back. we don't want a video of you weeing, do we? Right, there we go. There we go. Through he goes. Come on then. Can't wait to get the fire lit. There we go. Oh, fall over a twig. So having worked on that one for a while, I decided to switch and start another large canvas, and I thought you might be interested in just seeing how I start these paintings, which is basically just writing, drawing, things that are meaningful to me, that make sense to me, although they might not make sense to anyone else, but also mapping out like roughly composition in terms of dark and light areas. And that's what I'm doing here with this black paint. And also one of my favorite techniques with this paint at this stage is to add paint and then wipe some of it off. So I'm getting all these different textures into the paint. And then, so I'm just going to switch between these two paintings now because this is how I work. Usually at least 2 and sometimes 3 moving between them because that keeps everything fresh. I'm going to put some music on and just carry on making my paintings.
Windows wide, the curtains fly to catch the evening breeze. Without you here to keep me warm, believe I'd rather freeze. Believe I'd rather freeze. How long can we walk that line between the sea and sand? How long can we bide our time for dreams we never planned? For dreams we never planned. When the sky said the winter time is coming on, and you cry to see a shadow, babe, growing long across the lawn, another song. It's Tuesday night, it's 3 a.m. I ought to be asleep. If only I could tell you all about the dreams I keep, or about the dreams I keep. I wake up every morning and I'm wasted all the day. I'd turn it all around if I could only hear you say that you were here to stay. When the sky said the winter time is coming on, and you cry to see a shadow, babe, is growing long across the lawn, another song.
For now, I have left this painting as you see it here. And the reason is I'm not sure it's finished. I'm not sure of anything at the moment. This is very early stages on this project. But what I do think is I like the composition. I like the subtle shifts in the light areas. I like the extreme limited palette. I like how the big black shape to the left is balanced, not by something the same size or weight, but by the orange and blue, the orange dot and the blue scribble. I like that. I like so many things about it that I want to leave it as a kind of signpost and in progress for now while I work on lots of others and then look at them all together and make another decision. I've got my big podcast microphone. I used to use this for art juice because it helps with the sound. I don't know if I've mentioned, I probably have, but I made a decision on these paintings to work only with, initially I was going to work only with 2 colours, black and white. I was going to work with cerulean blue and cadmium orange light. And I've now decided to add in yellow ochre because I can mix a lovely cream with that and white. And it's my favourite colour probably, is that cream that I mix. So cerulean blue, cadmium orange, yellow ochre, white and black. And one of the things that's really important when you've got a really limited palette is to be exploring those colours and really understand what they can do. Working with such a limited palette has meant really working on colour, and I found a lovely green. So I've got cadmium orange light, cerulean blue, which are my colours. Got some yellow ochre, which is another colour I've been using, white and some black. If I put some of this orange, some of this blue, see, we start to get a really rich green. That's lovely. It can be more olivey. If I add a bit of yellow ochre as well, it can be this kind of olivey green. But what I'm looking for, and that's gorgeous, but I'm looking for something much lighter. So now I stick a ton of white in it. And that is just gorgeous. Bit more orange, make it a bit warmer, or a bit more blue to make it a bit cooler. Look at that lovely cool. It's like a beautiful sagey green, and I really love this. Then if you just want to dull it down a little bit of black in it, but now you see it's kind of taken some of the colour out. And then if I put white in that to make it a similar tone, you'll just see it's much cooler with the black in, but it hasn't made it more bluey, which it would have done if I'd put blue in. So these are just lovely colours to work with. Show you another one, mixing up orange and black, and it makes this really rich brown. That's nice. It can be a warmer brown, more like poo brown if I want it to be, or I can add some white in and then just get a really nice beigey colour. So that's been a good addition, really enjoyed. And then finally making a grey. See, we can make a grey that's just black and white, and I don't actually mind that. Some people say that's dead. I don't mind that grey. I think it's nice and clean and precise and sharp. But if I want it to blend in, put some yellow ochre in. Now it's a kind of much warmer grey. But if I also put some blue and orange in, it's veering towards a greeny grey. But I could bring it back by putting some more black, some more white in, but it's a little bit of a richer grey because it's got all the colours in it that I'm using. That is a really nice grey. So this is what I'm occupying myself with. When I don't feel like painting, or I don't know what to do next, sometimes I just have fun mixing up my colours. And what I will do is get myself organised enough to mix up some batches, because I'm still figuring out which colours I mostly want to use. If I bring you over here, flip you round, this is a bookcase. It's a bit covered up at the moment with cardboard boxes from the Jacksons. I just mixed up, I was playing with the colours, yellow ochre, orange and blue, and I just did a big colour swatches on my bookcase because it was boring. It was white and boring. And I'd like to do some things like this on my walls, but I haven't decided yet where I'm actually putting the hanging system on my walls and where paintings are going to hang. So for now, I just stuck to my bookcase. But doesn't that look great? I love it. It's a little pop of brightness and a little reminder to myself of what I can get from these colours. And when I'm sitting on my sofa, I can see them all. I feel like a news reporter with this microphone, and now coming to you from the White House. But it does really help with the sound. So I was thinking about, with this move onto these big canvases, what I'm learning. So far, I've not managed to juggle keeping up with paper pieces and canvas and sketchbooks all at the same time. Soon as I moved onto the canvas pieces, the big pieces of paper and the sketchbooks have gone by the wayside. That's, I know that's because of time. I get a couple of hours in here a day on a good day. On a really good day, I'll get 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the early evening. I think people imagine professional artists spending like all day working, and while the very top echelon might be able to spend all day in their studio, I think the rest of us do other things that bring in an income as well, and for me that's teaching and all of my admin work. So because I only get that time, I tend to get focused on either I'm doing sketchbook or I'm doing, so I think the way it's going to work for me more now I realise is I'll do some time on the canvases. If you come in and I don't feel like those, I'll do some colour mixing or some sketchbook work, or maybe I'll do some work on paper because that's what I feel like. And it's going to work more like that rather than me moving around the studio doing them all at once, as it would maybe if I had 8 hours a day in here. The other thing I've noticed in myself that I really know is there anyway is this push to finish, which I teach other people to avoid because I know it's there in me. I know we all have it. It's this kind of, come on, get this picture done. It's the productivity drive, isn't it, that we have. And I definitely see that. And I'm much happier when a painting just becomes, and then I go, oh, it's done, than when I start pushing to finish. But it's really difficult to get that balance right, because you don't want to push past a point where it maybe was finished because you're so busy keeping going. You've got to notice any time you're getting into finishing mind. It's a challenge, and I found myself a bit last night doing that, just getting into like finishing. So anyway, these are the things I'm noticing so far. I'm noticing that I'm by far happiest and enjoy myself most when I can get into just responding to the paint, and that I am unhappiest and least successful when I get into thinking about finishing, or God forbid, thoughts of the outside world coming in. What will people think of this? Will anyone like it? Will I get mean comments? Would a gallery like this? What would the art world say about this? All of those thoughts, which I think we all have, but those definitely I notice just literally pushing me off track, as if I was on a road pootling along happily and then I'm sideswiped by a truck that pushed me into a ditch. This is one of the things that I love about painting. I think it's what meditation does for a lot of people. When I'm painting, I notice my own thoughts. I notice the tracks that are running in my head on automatic, that I realize, oh, these thoughts that are running through my head on automatic, these are controlling my life. And painting gives me a way to bring those to the surface and understand them. So that's one of the reasons, one of many, many reasons that I really love painting. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm going to leave you with some lovely shots of our bright, clear winter days while they last, before the grey, dingy rain sets in that we all know is coming. See you again next time. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe, but also drop me a comment and let me know what you think. Let me know what you're interested in. Let me know if anything resonates. And if you know anyone else who'd be interested, please share the video with them. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.
You are!